Why do spirits take trance of people? Can lay people take trance? Differences between male and female beings taking trance, and also the vehicles. How to tell if someone is taking a real trance or not of a lower or higher being. How to protect yourself from being taken trance of. Not everybody wants to be oracle. When and where can we take trance? Anytime, any place? Sounds like a Blondie song. Call me, anytime, any place, anywhere. Call me. So those who are hip would understand that, the rest of you would not. That's why 90% of you are looking at me with their mouth open. What? Who's Blondie? Who knows who Blondie is? Like I said, 90% had their hands down looking at me. Okay. As I said earlier, a trance is when an outer being that is not your mind takes possession of your body, your speech, and your motor reflexes. And they basically use your body as a mouthpiece to talk, and use your body as a vehicle to communicate, write, give blessings, dispense with writings, or, sometimes they can do automatic writing also. Now, there are people who can spontaneously and naturally take trance. They're very sensitive. And they can take trance of spirits, of beings, land gods, deities, people who have passed away. They can. Some of them have a natural ability to protect themselves, that these beings may take trance of them and not harm them. But some beings, they don't have a natural protection. So you may think to yourself, well, who does and who doesn't? That's the key. We don't know who has a natural protection and who doesn't have a natural protection. So we need to be careful and not get involved with trances. Okay, one thing I want to tell you. You shouldn't go home and try to take trance. You shouldn't invite beings to enter you. You shouldn't invite anything to enter you. The only thing that should be inside of you is you. Okay? So you shouldn't invite anything to come, and you shouldn't admire people who can take trance. There's nothing to admire people who can take trance. Let me tell you why. Taking trance of a being, if it's a very high level being, it can be beneficial. If it's a low level being or a mediocre being, it can be harmful. So taking trance is not an extraordinary ability that you've achieved something high in meditation. Okay? So, spirits take trance of people for many reasons. Some are quite helpful and they want to communicate messages, they want to help. Some are bound by a promise by someone else that they should help. So they take trance to talk and give warnings or give prophecies or tell you things that's going to happen in the future. Some take trance because they want to smoke a cigarette. They want to feel a drink on the tongue. They want to touch someone warm. They want to have some company. They want to feel alive again. They take trance just for a simple pleasure like that. Some take trance because they want to create harm and mischief. Some take trance because there's someone available. Okay? So there are many, many reasons. There's combinations of those reasons. So it's not a black and white kind of situation where you think that it's just like that and it's over. It's just, that's why they took trance and it's over. There are many, many, many reasons. All right? Now, can lay people take trance? Male, female can take trance. Monks and nuns can take trance. Ordinary lay people can take trance. Again, the difference is not who can take trance. It's what is taking trance of you. I repeat, it isn't who can take trance. It's what. A male deity can take trance of a female, of a woman. A female deity can take trance of a man. So it has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with your gender and who can enter who. And is a male oracle or a male person who is taking trance more powerful than female? Of course not. Again, it's not the vehicle taking trance. It is the being, the level of the being taking trance of the person. All right? So therefore, who can take trance? Anyone. Can they take trance anywhere, any place, anytime? Yes. A trained person can enter trance within a few seconds. A trained person. They can meditate, relax, focus, open up their channels, invite the deity can enter them instantly. It's like an Instagram. Really, it's instantly they can take trance. And there are different levels of trance. There's full trance, and there's only channeling. Channeling is very unique. Channeling is when a deity or being or God or mountain being or ethereal being enters you and they kind of stay with you. And your mind's there, but your mind's kind of relaxed and not working, not operating, not coherent, not thinking, but there. And you kind of know what's going on, but it's kind of blur also. So channeling is when both of you are inside, which is something on the outside calm, and it's very gentle, and something and yourself. That's channeling. Trance is when you're gone. You're totally gone. How is it like? When you take trance, you can see the deity come. You can, for example, you see Satrap's horse coming. Next thing you know, you fall asleep. And then it's black. So while Satrap's talking to the students and disciples or whomever, you have no idea whatsoever. He can be jumping up and down. He can be moving his head like this. He can be doing blessings, throwing rice. He can accept soap, accept drinks. You will not know. You'll be completely asleep. And if he drinks a lot of alcohol, if people offer him alcohol, and of course we won't, when you wake up, you won't be drunk. Not at all. But you'll smell of alcohol, but you won't be drunk. So therefore, when someone high level like Satrap takes trance, you'll see Satrap coming, or a red light. You'll see a red light, a red man, or like a horse coming, then you'll black out. You black out, you just fall into a sleep. And when you wake up, you drank something, you ate something, your body's tired, your limbs hurt, your neck hurt, your arms hurt, and you're stiff and you can't move because it was really intense, right? But it's like waking up. That's why usually people who take trance of wrathful deities, they have someone come and massage them afterwards because they literally wake up and their bodies are very stiff. Their neck is stiff. You know why? Because something very powerful the size of a mountain enters something teeny, your own body. And they're using your body to move, to talk, to operate, to do things. To function, to dance, to do blessings, to accept soul, to walk around, and meet people. And their energy is very intense. So when they leave the body, they're very tired. They're very exhausted and their bodies will be stiff. But they recover very fast. There's no long-term damage. None. So therefore, full trance is literally, you see the deity, some form of the deity. Some people see a light. Some people see a horse. Some people see a red man. Some people just see a glow. And when they see that Satrap coming, they go to sleep. And when Satrap leaves, they wake up. And when they wake up, they remember nothing. They see nothing. They heard nothing. Nothing. It's totally, they go to sleep. That is a full trance. When they channel, they can feel it coming, or sometimes they can see it coming. Depends on the channeler. They can sometimes see, sometimes they have clairaudience, means they can hear. Sometimes they have clairvoyance, they can see. Sometimes they have a sense, they can feel. And then it enters them. And when it enters them, they're there, but they're very dormant. So the being is talking instead, the high level being or whatever is talking and doing their thing. And once they leave, they can have some pains and problems, for a little while, but it's not as intense as full trance. Why it's not as intense as full trance? Because when those enter, they don't take full, complete control. They only take partial control. That's called channeling. Okay. What channels in a person and what takes trance in a person? Same thing. You can channel gods, devas, beings, spirits, nagas, high-level protectors. There are cases of people able to channel Chenizik, Avalokiteshvara, Kalarupa, Bandinlamo, Mahakala. There are people who can take trance or channel that, but those like 1 out of 10 billion. That's a very rare type of oracle. That's not a normal oracle. There are oracles in the past because the High Lamas told me. One High Lama told me Genima in Ganden Monastery. He told me there are oracles who can take trance of Kalarupa, Mahakala. How cool is that? And Bandinlamo. They can. But those are very rare oracles. Very rare. Okay? So, male deities or male beings can take trance of both male and female. Female deities can take trance of an oracle or a channeler, both male and female. Because why? It's not so much what gender you are, it's your connection and the purity of your body and the cleanliness of your body. How can you tell someone taking a real trance? Very simple. Write something on a piece of paper. Put it behind your hands and ask them, what does it say? So if they're taking real trance, they'll tell you. That's if they're up for the challenge. Very simple. Isn't that good? So how do you tell if someone's taking real trance? Like you have a friend who loves attention and they're telling you they're taking trance, etc. You're like, okay. You write something there. Dear etc. What did I write? If etc. tells you the right thing, you better say sorry, etc. Apologize real quick. But if etc. tells you the wrong thing, they're taking trance, or if they lead trance real quick. I met an oracle when I sent someone there to ask him questions. He took out of trance real quick. I'm like, in Penang. Real quick, that guy went out of trance. Oh, I'm too tired now. I'm like, So how do you tell if they're in trance or not? Write something on a piece of paper. Put it behind you and ask, what did I write? Isn't that easy? Do you guys need to be high lamas to do that? No. And if they're really taking trance, they'll be able to tell you right. And if they tell you the right thing, the next thing you should do is you write a question. What's the next lottery number, please, for 10 million? So we can build KFR. Right, real quick. Wouldn't that be great? Then all of you get 10 million, 10 million, 10 million. Of course, I get 20%. KFR lah. Okay? So how can you tell if they're taking real trance or not? You can test them. Because the real oracles in Ganden in the past, when they take trance, they have records of what they asked them 30, 40 years ago with this person at this time. And they take it out and they say, 30 years ago, at this time, with this person, they ask you this question, what was your answer? And they'll tell you precisely what was said. And remember, they get thousands of answers per month. They'll tell you precisely. And details. And sometimes, let's say that you have Oracle A, they took trance and they gave answers to Paris. Then Oracle A, is not available anymore, or he's passed away, or he's too old, and Oracle B takes trance. So you can ask Oracle B in trance, what did you tell Miss Paris 45 years ago through the first Oracle at this time on this day? And this one will tell you exactly what he said. That's how you can tell if they're real. Isn't that amazing? It's not amazing because the deities are omniscience. Satrap has omniscience. He never forgets anything. And if he said it, he'll tell you. Even if another one said it, he'll tell you because he has clairvoyance. But if you write number 3 and your friend takes trance and they tell you it's number 2, see you later, Buster. Bust it. So we can start a new organization, Trance Busters. We'll have some business too. Isn't that an easy way to test them? Of course, you do it respectfully. May I please ask you what's on this piece of paper? I don't mean any disrespect. And you write it and you put it back. Draw a little circle, a little triangle, a little eye. Maybe you draw the dollar sign. Stick it behind. What's on the paper? Easy or not? How to protect yourself from trance. That's a good one. I don't think most of you need to worry because I think most of you are not going to take trance. I think 99.9% of you don't have the potential to take trance or need to take trance or will take trance. So I don't think you need to worry. But if in the past you've experienced something funny, a little funny sensation, or you're sensitive, or you have the third eye, or you're a little worried about because you go to, always near cemeteries and whatever, well, there's a few practices you can do. You can engage in Singdoma's practice. Simha Mukta. You can engage in Singdoma's practice, her praise, her mantra, and her prayer is 1 page. Singdoma is a lion-faced Dakini. Many wishes can be fulfilled by reciting her mantra. She's very fierce, very potent. That's one. Second thing you can do is you can do the mantra and the practice of the 1,000 face, arm, and legged Buddha Dukar. You can do God's practice and praise and offerings and mantra, you'll be safe. Another one you can do is Black Manjushri. Another one you can do is Satrap, Yamataka, and then Hamo. No problem. Any of those practices will be very good to protect you. If you start one of those practices, you do it continuously, then you don't have to worry anymore. Why? Because when you pray or do meditations or practice of Singdongma, Dukkha, Setra, Benden Hamo, they're fully enlightened beings. Nothing can penetrate their blessings. Nothing can penetrate their protection of you. Nothing. Okay? And if some of you had the third eye, because I get asked this quite a lot, and some of you do, I've tested some people, they really do have the third eye. I tested someone last week, they're very accurate. A young girl, by the way. She can tell you what's standing there, what they look like, how many, very clearly. And she's not making it up. I tested her, she's quite accurate. But she doesn't like it. Because all kinds of funny things appear to her and scare her. Of course it scares her, she doesn't understand. So some of you have the third eye, which is you can see things. They always appear to you, they always talk to you, they always, disturb you, they always want attention, they want your help. If you find that you don't want that gift or that third eye, this is what you can do. You can engage in Singdongma's practice intensely, Dukkha's practice, Black Manjushi's practice, or Vajrapani's practice. You can even engage in Hayagriva's practice. Okay? Hayagriva, Vajrapani, Dukkha, and Singdongma, you can do. You can do. If you have initiation, you can do the extended practice. If you don't have initiation, you can do the praise and the mantra. So you can do Black Manjushri, Hayagriva, Setra, as I mentioned earlier. You can do Singdongma. Any of those will be fine. Where do you get the information from? You can Google. And some of these prayers I have on my blog site. You just go to the sadhana section and you can download. As time goes on, I'll make more practices available for people. And many of the practices I have available on my blog site, I actually make it for non-initiates. Because I don't believe in initiating people into higher tantras until they're totally ready and after they've been trained well. I don't simply give initiation. So the practices I give on my blog are for non-initiates that you can do. So do you need the permission of a Lama? Do you need the initiation of a Lama? You don't. Just to answer questions, you don't need it. So you can do Dukkha, Singdongma, Black Manjushri, etc., Benden Hamo, Hayagriva, any of those. How do you do those practices? You have an image of that deity, that Buddha. You have a little shrine to them, a shrine from your heart, some incense. You can do their praise, and then you can do their mantra. Prior to the praise, you can do refuge, the 4 immeasurables, the 8 verses of thought transformation, and then you can do the deity's praise, Praise, and then the mantra. I repeat, any of those deities, you don't officially need initiation to do because you're not doing the actual meditation on them. You're just asking for protection. So if you're asking for protection, you don't need the initiation. If you want to go into deeper practice with them, you need initiation. All right? So what happens is you can do their praise. You start with refuge. Namo Gurube, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, 3 times. The 4 immeasurables. The 8 verses of thought transformation. And then the praise of the deity and then the mantras. For example, Singdongma's mantras. Aka, Samaraza, Shandarasa, Maraya, Pe. Aka, Samaraza, Shandarasa, Maraya, Pe. Aka, Samaraza, Shandarasa, Maraya, Pe. Or you can do Dukkha's. Omasita ta pa che hum pe. Omasita ta pa che hum pe. Omasita ta pa che hum pe. Okay, what else did I mention? Hayagriva, Kri, Pema Dachi, Hayagriva, Holo Holo hum pe. And Hayagriva is very unique. There's many traditions, and all the 4 lineages of Tibetan Buddhism have this practice. Any mantra from any lineage is fine for any of the deities. All are valid. But in our system, it's called Tamding Samdrup, or Hayagriva, the red form. 6 arms and 8 legs, 3 faces. Hri, Pema Dachi, Hayagriva, Holo Holo hum pe. Hri, Pema Dachi, Hayagriva, Holo Holo hum pe. You can do that. Alright? Or you can do Setra's mantra. Maya Chatsa Soha, Maya Chatsa Soha. Or you can do Mahakala's mantra. Benza Nara Tin Tin Hung Hung Pepe Soha. Benza Nara Tin Tin Hung Hung Pepe Soha. Om Benza Nara Tin Tin Hong Hong Pepe Soha. That's the 6-arm Mahakala. Or you can do Pendant Lamos mantra, which is a little long but beautiful. You can do Pendant Lamos praise, black tea, and then her mantra. Jo Ramo, Jo Ramo, Jo Jo Ramo, Tunjo Kala Rachimo, Ramo Asha Dacha Tunjo, Wulu Wulu Hong Jo Hong. Jo Ramo, Jo Ramo, Jo Jo Ramo, Tunjo Kala Rachimo, Ramo Asha Dacha Tunjo, Wulu Wulu Hong Jo Hong. Jo Ramo, Jo Ramo, Jo Jo Ramo, Tunjo Kala Rachimo, Ramo Asha Dacha Tunjo, Wulu Wulu Hong Jo Hong. Pendant Lamo is, of course, the wrathful Saraswati. Very powerful lady. Then, any of those are fine. If you have the initiation into Yamataka, or Hiruka, or Vajragini, oh, that's fabulous. Then you just do intensive Vajragini, you do intensive Yamataka, you do intensive Hiruka. Okay, you do those sadhanas intensive with the mantra and offering, you'll be fine. And you don't have to do other ones. So let's say, do you have to do Hayagriva? Do you have to do Singdoma, Dukar? No, you just do Yamataka. Yamataka is more than enough to eliminate all your problems and some more. Or Vajragini is more than enough. That's why Vajragini's face is fierce. Okay? The beautiful Dakini's face is fierce to push away obstacles and obstructors that may come your way. Right? Those are some of the things you can do. You can download it from the net. These days, you just Google. It's very fast and very easy. Okay? That's how you protect yourself. Where can we take trance? If you can take trance, you can take it anywhere. Okay, but you should just take it anywhere because it becomes like not very respectful. Anywhere. But when you take trance, it would be nice if your breath is clean, your teeth is clean, your hands and your face and your body is clean. And for most cases, if you don't eat meat, it would be very good. If you're vegetarian, it would be good. And also, your clothes should be very clean. And you're sitting in a clean area, clean place, and some incense. Then you can call the deity or whoever calls the deity. Well, otherwise, you shouldn't do that. Street oracles. Street oracles are those. In Malaysia, there's a lot of wayside temples. They're very beautiful. They're very nice. They have a rich tradition. And a lot of them have mediums or oracles, and they take trance. Some of them are real. Some of them are questionable. Like I said, just write on a piece of paper and ask them. And those who take trance, some claim they're higher level, they're lower level. I mean, there's so many of them. I can't make any sweeping statements. One thing for sure, if they say they're taking trance at Kuan Yin, you have to be very careful. If they're taking trance at Kuan Yin, they have to be very clean, vegetarian, pure, have clean vows. Not anyone simply can take trance at Kuan Yin and start talking. It's not that Kuan Yin is selective or diva or difficult. It's that she's very high level. And for her to enter you and talk, you have to be pretty high level. So Kuan Yin is not picky. She's extremely compassionate. She's the bodhisattva of mercy and compassion. All right? Then you have a lot of beautiful Indian temples around here. And you have a lot of Indian swamis that claim they're taking trance. I can't comment on those, just like the Chinese ones, because there are real ones and there are ones who are questionable. I can't comment, but I will say for real, not all of them are not real. And not all of them are real. All right? Why do people go to people who take trance? Because sometimes they come across a question that's very difficult to answer. It's a crossroad and it's very, very hard. And they need some external guidance. That's why they go. But I think most of our questions, we can pray to Satrap or our Dharma protector, relax and trust, and a way will open up for us eventually. So I think for us, because last time I had a lady who used to drive into the forest somewhere in Malaysia. She's driving to the forest for about 2 hours to a temple. Very well kept, very clean, a small one. And there was a person that took trance. So she went to this person for a few years and gave her some clear answers. And after that, she didn't need to go, but the deity became angry and said, you still have to give me things. You still have to come and visit. You still have to pay back. So she got very scared. And because he has some power, he's shown her some accidents and all that stuff, and she got kind of scared. So he says, you have to keep coming back. Even if you don't ask questions, you have to keep giving me things. You have to bring things here. Temples, offerings, food, donations. And so she said, well, I'm kind of done. I don't need any more questions, and I appreciate what you did, but I don't need to come back. He said, no, you got to come back. So she was very scared. So he threatened her and told her that if she doesn't come back, he's going to harm her. So she came to see me. It was about 15, 16 years back in PJ, Petaling Jaya. She came to see me. She told me the whole situation, and she was very scared. I said, why are you so scared? She goes, because I've seen this being do things, create accidents. I'm very scared. So I said, why'd you go to him in the first place? She goes, I didn't know any better. I didn't know. No one told me. I mean, I didn't know even to ask. I mean, we're in Malaysia. That's what we're raised with. And that's what we're used to, going to see mediums and stuff. It's not something odd or different. We're used to it. It's just when this being started threatening me, I got scared. And I said, oh. So I gave her Benden Hummel's practice. The goddess Benden Hummel. I did a divination. The divination came out. She's very close to Benden Hummel. She has affinity. I gave her the practice. I gave her the meditation and the mantra to do. And then the deity gave her a fu. A fu is something written on a piece of paper that has his so-called affinity, his connection, his doorway. Gave him and she has a talisman. So she didn't know what to do with that. She was afraid to throw it out. Says to give it to me. So we did a little ritual. We bound the fu. We bound the talisman. We covered it. And then with a lot of respect to the deity, we burned it. With protector rice. Rice blessed by the protector. We burned it respectfully. We said to the deity, no disrespect to you. Thank you for helping her. She cannot visit you anymore. She doesn't need to. And please let her go. So after that, there was no incidents. Up till today, she tells me there's not one single incident. Nothing. So therefore, we were able to do that for her. All right. I'm not a powerful Bomo. I'm not a powerful magician or anything. I'm not Merlin here. But the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha definitely has power. Setra, Yamantanka, Hayagriva, Lama Tsongkhapa definitely has power. I'm not the one with the power. They are the ones. Okay, so therefore, we have to be very careful when we go for ask people to take trance or people to take trance. Again, let me repeat: people who are involved with me, who are my students or my friends or close to me, should never ever take trance. People in Kichara House or associated places, study groups, anywhere in the world, should never take trance. I do not encourage anyone to take trance, ask for trance, or want trance. I don't like things like that, personally speaking. Why? I believe we're here to learn the Dharma and the 8 verses of thought transformation and transform our mind. We don't need to take trance. Buddha didn't give us 84,000 teachings on how to take trance. Buddha gave us teachings on how to transform our mind and develop compassion. So I don't think we need to take trance. So let me repeat, people with Kichara House or associated or affiliated, or people come to Kichara House, you should not be taking trance. And then before you enter Kichara, if that's happening, after you enter, you shouldn't be anymore. Kichara House is blessed and consecrated by Setra. Okay? I don't like these kind of magical kind of things. They do exist. I acknowledge them. And I acknowledge devas, land gods, land spirits, tree spirits, mountain deities. I acknowledge they do exist. Buddha mentions them. They do exist. What I'm not acknowledging is our need to contact them to solve our problems. What I'm acknowledging is our need to solve our own problems with logic and dharma and clarity and lamrim. That's what I'm acknowledging. So am I saying the land gods are bad? No. Am I saying devas and nagas, all those who take trance of people are bad? No. I'm just saying that it would be better if we rely on the dharma and logic and clear mind to make decisions. Why? Less danger. Less danger. Remember, we're here to learn Dharma. Okay? Any questions about trances? I think I've covered everything, huh? Yes?
So, Rinpoche was explaining how to test if someone's taking real trance. But there could be lower evil spirits that have some level of clairvoyance that would be able to tell as well.
Oh, that's very good. Okay? If after they can lower negative spirits, they have some clairvoyance and they can tell you what you wrote on a piece of paper, the next thing is to ask them why they're here. What do they want? They say, I want to help people. Say, okay, if you want to help people, if I request you not to be here and not to take trance, will you listen? If they cooperate, then they're okay. Then they're sincere. Then they say, okay, I'll listen, I'll cooperate. Say, okay, please don't take trance anymore. You can test them out like that. But all of you don't go running around being Merlin or the Bomo. Merlin, the Bomo, you don't go test them on, because some of them can be quite nasty. So what you should do is refer to someone who will know how to deal with them. That'll be better. Wouldn't that be safer? Okay. Otherwise, Paris might come with even more personalities than she already has. Yeah. You're our own little multiple personality schizo. Questions about trance? Yes.
Let's say,
nice hair.
For Chinese medium, let's say it's since young we've been going to Chinese temple, like let's say a Kuan Yin temple. The medium will claim that actually it's Kuan Yin who take trance in this person in the medium. Could it be the entourage of Kuan Yin, or could it be some low deity that represent or they are sent by Kuan Yin? Or is this a
as I mentioned before, there is no straight answer. Some of these people say they're taking trance of Kuan Yin or whatever. It could be Kuan Yin herself, rare. It could be her entourage. She's got entourage that's just as effective. Or it can be something that she sent. Or it could be not involved with her at all. Okay, my point is, it could be all of that. But how will you know? If you're not sure, better not be involved. So how will you know? I can't give you a straight answer for that because all these mediums are different. Some are real. Some are not. Some are taking negative beings. And you can take trance of something, or someone can take trance of something, and you think it's something for years. And later it turns out not to be them at all. And that's the scary part. So Brian asked a very logical question. How do you know if it's really Kuan Yin or Kuan Yin's entourage? You don't. That's why you don't get involved. You don't. I don't. You don't. So we don't get involved. But we know Lam Rim is good. We know Tsongkhapa is excellent. We know Singnoma is wonderful, and Dukkha is excellent, and Manjushri is beyond question, and Yamataka is fully enlightened Buddha. We know that. So we might as well get involved with that. With Lam Rim, 8 verses, the 3 jewels, refuge, compassion, we should get involved with that. These other things we shouldn't get involved, not because we disrespect them, but because we really don't know. Do I think all mediums should not take trance and talk? No, I think some should take trance and talk and help people. So, Rimiji, why do you contradict yourself? I'm not. If you can't tell if it's the real thing or not, better not get involved. But they may be the real thing, so leave them alone. Time will tell. I'm not contradicting. And there are many people around the world from all countries, all cultures, all races, all continents for thousands and thousands of years who take trance of different beings. Shamans, they're real. They are ones that are real. I cannot sit here and say they're all demons, they're evil, they're spirits. No, they're not. There are some mountain spirits, mountain beings who are very helpful and very nice. They're very benign. They're just helpful beings. Just like people, there are people who will really help you. You're carrying shopping bags, they open the door for you. Some of you are carrying shopping bags, they just look at you. They're just like people. Okay, so what we need to do is, just like with people, we got to be careful. Aren't we careful with people? There you go. Same thing. There are very helpful people. There are people who have other intentions. Just like with these ethereal, non-physical beings, whatever label you want to give them, they can be helpful, they can be not helpful. So all cultures have this in their culture, and we respect them all. The American Indians have shamans. The South American Indians have shamans. The Chinese, the Indians, the Mongolians, the Tibetans, the Europeans, the pre-Christian times, they have shamans. And are they bad? No, they're not. They're not. They are genuine people who take trance, who genuinely take trance to help people. I've met people who take trance to help people. They are. There was one lady from Ladakh. And she used to take natural trance of a mountain female goddess. And she came to see my teacher. My teacher, in fact, instead of expelling the being, blessed her, put her in retreat, cleared her body, and now she takes trance of her whenever requested. So she has a special costume and uniform. She has a 5 Daini Buddha's crown. She has a special upper cloth. She has a special skirt. She has special food, offerings, and plates and all that. And she does her prayers, and the deity will enter. And you know what she does when she enters? She does healing. And my teacher told me the deity that enters her is very benign. Is not a Buddha. Is not a Bodhisattva. Is a very benign mountain lady. She's a healer. She's very nice. She's very gentle, and she's here to help people. And when she takes trance of that lady, it does no damage to people, and she doesn't want anything. She doesn't say, "Oh, I gave you an answer. Give me this. Give me that. Give me cigarettes. Give me beer." Nothing. She comes and heals. And I went to see her once. She came to South India, not far from the monastery. And there was a lot of people went to see her. I had a cyst. I didn't know it was a cyst. It was my first cyst ever. And it was on my arm here. And it was big and bulgy. And I feel it. It's kind of like soft. And it's weird. It's soft, but it doesn't have any pain. I didn't know what it was. I never had a cyst that time, so I didn't know what it was. And it was just big and it moved. So I was like, I wonder what that is, what kind of growth that is. And it really bulged, you know. It was really a big bulge. So I went to her, and nobody announced I was coming. There was a room full of people. There was monks and nuns there too. When I came in, she stood up and she went like this to me. She said, "Rinpoche, how can I help you?" I was like, "Oh, I can see she has clairvoyance." Because no one made any announcements. I like to surprise visits without announcements, that they don't call people uninvited, correct? So what happens is she says, "May I help you?" I said, "Yes." I showed her that. She went like that. She goes, "Oh, Rinpoche, don't worry, it's fine." She put her mouth on it. She sucked it out. It was on a red cloth, and she showed me. It's white and globulous and shaky. She took it out in front of me. No breakage in my skin. And until today, it's flat. And if you feel it here, the remains of the cyst is still there, means the pocket it was in, but it's not there anymore. She did it in front of my eyes. And then when I was done, I said, "Anything?" She goes, "No. Thank you for visiting, Rinpoche. If I can help you again, let me know." That was it. I witnessed this myself in front of my eyes. And when she put her mouth on here to suck it out, she didn't bite it. She didn't perforate the skin. Nothing. The cyst was completely removed. I wish she was around these days, because I had a lot of cysts removed recently. And trust me, it was not painless. Every time I get a cyst, I think about my friend, my mountain lady friend. But I witnessed this, I saw this. And my guru told me that she's okay to go to. That's why, since my guru told me I'm okay, I'm reassured. Very good. She does healing. And the room is always filled with 80, 90 people every day to see her. She does it all for free, no money. She's a very humble lady. So there are people who take trance that genuinely help people. But we have to check. I don't have the rule for everyone. I don't have the guideline for everyone. But I'm just telling you in general. But if you're having something disturbing, you can protect yourself, which I already mentioned earlier. Any questions about trance? Yes?
Some oracles speak in Tibetan, for example, and then some oracles speak in English. When for example, Satrap enters the oracle, is Satrap limited by the vessel that he enters? For example, if the oracle only speaks...
He's not limited, but his manifestation and speech to you is limited by your karma. Sometimes Satrap can come and not speak and not do anything and have to leave because you don't have the karma to receive. You don't have the merits to receive. Okay? So Satrap's limitations, inverted commas, is not just from his side, it's from your side too. So, but to answer your question, usually, and this I don't know really why, usually, whatever the oracle speaks, the deity entering will speak in the same language. Because it's like using a hotel room, you use what's there for you. So if you have a 5-star hotel with a fax machine, and Wi-Fi, and computers, and jacuzzi, and you have a business center, you have a nice refrigerator stocked with food, David will be happy. Okay, if you go to a motel, you pay $7 an hour, all you get is a bed, and if you're lucky, a towel. You can't do much business there, right? You can't type or anything, no Wi-Fi. So it's like you may be the prime minister of the country, or you may be a PhD or a professor or the smartest person in the world, but if you go to a facility that the facility is not very there, you can't do much. So that's not so much the person, it's the facility. Likewise, the oracle affects the deity entering also. All right? But there have been cases, I have heard a few times from the High Lamas, that the oracles will come and the deities will enter the oracles and speak a language the oracle never spoke. I've heard that happen in the past, in certain situations. Okay, good question. Any other questions? Yes, Nadia.
Who determines how long this inner being or this outer being or this outer being stays inside? And if you have a guru, so probably you have someone to watch over.
Okay, you mean during the session or you mean in general over the years?
When you're in trance.
Oh, that's
How
up.
long?
It's up to the deity how long they want to stay and if the work is done or not.
So it is the deity.
Sometimes, yes, it is the deity who decides. But sometimes, if the deity is not pleased, they will leave early.
Okay.
They won't accept your offerings or take your drink. They just leave if they're not pleased. There have been cases where Satrap has entered people and said to them, "The advice I gave you, you never listened to. So you don't need to ask me, you do what you want. Goodbye." And he leaves. There's been cases like that. I was told directly by the oracles. And there are cases when Satrap enters, he hugs you. He shares a drink with you. He strokes you and he asks you, "How can I help you?" Why? Because you usually listen and you're kind, you're compassionate, you help people. So he helps you. There are cases like that. Can you imagine you have your tea ready? You have your talk ready, you have your biscuits, you have incense, everything ready. And Setra comes and tells you, "You usually don't listen to what I say, so you're not going to so you do what you like," and he leaves. He doesn't even take your tea. But when Setra is happy, when Setra comes, he'll take your tea, he'll take your incense, he'll accept all your offerings for you to collect merit because he's pleased. You say, why is he so not compassionate? He's very compassionate. For him not to stay and leave to give you a strong message. Change. So there have been cases where Setra takes trance, and he even grabs a person and shakes them. Says change, and throws them in a monastery. Okay, because Satrap doesn't want anything from you. He only wants you to achieve Buddhahood and transform and be happy. So if you're not doing what is being taught and you're creating more negative karma for you to suffer, he's angry at your actions and your karma, not you. So when he shows you anger, he's showing you that your actions will take you to an unhappy place. So he's unhappy with your actions, not you. He has great compassion. Okay? Questions?
Usually on YouTube, some of the photos when some protectors take trance, they usually perform some dance before they actually go and greet the lamas. What's the meaning behind?
The meaning of this is this. The zouk is closed, so they're dancing for you here. Okay? The big disco called zouk is closed, so they dance here and have a little good time before they meet. How's that? They're happy! They're happy! And when they do the dance, they're clearing obstacles. They're clearing negative energy away. They're doing the dance of enlightenment. Clearing obstacles away. And also in their dance, when they move and turn, they're showing respect to the Buddhas of the 10 directions by dance. And then they go greet the Lama. Okay? Zouk is a famous club in KL for all my YouTube friends. Okay, questions?
What is the significance of the uniforms? Not uniforms, I mean the costumes.
The costumes is because it's Halloween. The significance of the costumes is an offering to the deity. So you offer beautiful crowns with jewels, silver and gold with jewels and whatever, and beautiful clothes. It's an offering for the deity to come, and you're offering that to them, just like you offer to the Buddha statues. Okay, and also when the deity comes, to wear something that is clean and pure, that's set aside for them, and not your normal clothes. Your normal clothes is not clean. Okay, so it's cleanliness, it's respect, and it's also an offering to offer these uniforms or costumes to them. And some of the clothes that the deities wear is actually what they wear. So easy for you to recognize who it is. Okay? Questions? Good. I think that finishes for our little trance talk today. That was good. 当所今年沙比干王的长当着啊，困难干巴当结巴结送罗上抓巴，台北玻璃的沙些说将就成就人不接，马前把那几个几，结巴那帮没帮样，过年。干王的牛头的拉马上街这个呢，主要是干马路，沙拉过巴说。最近那把拍完了，给进去马先王当，正经马龙当完说，大当接生就生当，这位走你那点的，结果老上找把一，电把108就，刚里认为考虑新港的拍的，因为呢，前年是往单身家做一，下辈子就把它谈就去。